Shalom, shalom. How is everyone today? Um, I'm just peachy, let you know. I'm just peachy. I did a little housework, so I'm a little ruffled, a little rumpled. Of course, I'm like that anyway, huh? Ruffled and rumpled. That's me. Okay. Um, let's start, shall we? Chapter 46 of Sirach, going into chapter 47. Here we go. Yahushua, the son of Nun, was a brave warrior and was a successor of Moshe and Nevoth, who according to his name was made great for the saving of the chosen of the Most High, and taking vengeance on the enemies that rose up against them, that he might place Yisrael in their inheritance. What great esteem he attained when he lifted up his hands and stretched out his sword against the cities. Who before him ever stood up to it? For Yahweh himself brought his enemies to him. Did the sun not go back by his doing? And was not one day as long as two? He called upon the Most High when the enemies pressed upon him on every side. Yahweh, the Almighty One, heard him. And with hailstones of great strength, he made the battle fall violently against the nations. And at the descent, he destroyed those who resisted, that the nations might know all their strength, because he fought in the sight of Yahweh. And he followed the Almighty One. In the time of Moshe, he also did a work of kindness. He and Caleb, the son of Yephonah, in that they withstood the assembly. They withstood the assembly and withheld the people from sin and appeased the wicked murmuring. And of 600,000 people on foot, these two were preserved to bring them into the inheritance, even to the land that flows with milk and honey. Yahweh also gave strength to Caleb, who remained with him to his old age, so that he entered into the high places of the land, and his seed obtained it for an inheritance, that all the children of Yisrael might see that it is good to follow Yahweh. You get barakah, barakoth, when following Yahweh. And concerning the judges, everyone by name, whose heart did not go whoring or departed from Yahweh, let their memory be Baruch. Let their bones flourish from their place, and let the name of those who were esteemed be continued upon their children. Shemuel, the Navi of Yahweh, beloved of his Adon, established a reign, an anointed prince over his people. By the law of Yahweh, he rightly ruled the assembly, and Yahweh showed respect toward Yaakov. By his trustworthiness, he was found a true Navi, and by his word, he was known to be trustworthy in vision. He called upon Yahweh, the Almighty One, when his enemies pressed upon him on every side, when he offered the suckling lamb. And Yahweh thundered from the Shamaim, and with a great noise made his voice heard. And he destroyed the rulers of the Tsorites and all the princes of the Pelishtites. And before his long sleep he bore witness in the sight of Yahweh and his anointed. I have not taken any man's goods, so much as a shoe, and no man accused him. And after his death, he nava, and showed the sovereigns his end, and lifted up his voice from the earth in Nevuah, to blot out the wickedness of the people. 47. And after him rose up Nathan to Navai in the time of Dawith. As the fat is taken away from the peace offering, Dawith was chosen out of the children of Israel. He played with lions as with young goats, and bears as with lambs. Did he not slay a giant when he was still young? You know, that would have been something to see. The young man against that really big, huge, you know, yeah, cut off his head with his own sword. Praise Yahweh. And did he not take away the reproach of the people when he lifted up his hand with the stone in the sling and beat down the boasting of Goliath? Goliath. Goliath? Goliath. They say Goliath, it's actually Goliath. For he called upon the Most High, and he gave him strength in his right hand to slay that mighty warrior and raise up the horn of his people. So the people esteemed him with 10,000s and praised him with the Baruch. of Yahweh, and that he gave him a crown of esteem, for he destroyed their enemies on every side, and brought to naught his adversaries, the Pelishtites, and broke their horn in pieces to this day. I always wondered who the Pelishtites were. Do you think maybe they're the Palestinians, maybe? Don't know. I don't know. In all his works, he praised the Kadosh One Most High with words of esteem. With his whole heart, he sang songs. He loved and loved he who made him. He also appointed singers before the altar that their voices should, that they, oh, excuse me. That with their voices they made sweet melody and sang praises daily with their songs. He adorned their feasts and put in order the appointed times until the end, that they should praise his Kodesh name, and that the Hechel might resound from the morning. Yahweh took away his sins and exalted his horn forever. He gave him a covenant of sovereigns and a throne of esteem in Israel. After him rose up a wise son, and for his sake his dwelling was broad. Shemoth, Shelemoth, reigned in a peaceable time and was esteemed, for the Most High made quiet all around him, that he might build a house for his name and prepare his mikdash forever. How wise you were in your youth, and filled with understanding as a flood. Your being covered the whole earth, and you filled it with deep parables. Your name went to the far islands, and for your peace you were loved. The lands marveled at you for your songs and proverbs and parables and interpretations. By the name of Yahweh, which is called Yisrael. That don't make sense. The name of Yahweh, the Most High, which is called Yahweh, Almighty One of Yisrael. You gathered gold as tin and multiplied silver as lead. You bowed your loins to women, and by your body you were brought into subjection. You stained your esteem and polluted your seed, so that you brought wrath upon your children and were grieved for your folly. So the reign was divided, and out of Ephraim ruled a rebellious reign. But the kindness of Yahweh never cease, nor shall any of his works perish, neither shall he cut off the descendants of his elect, the seed of he who loves him. He shall not take away. Therefore he gave a remnant to Yaakov, and out of him a root of David. Thus Shelemah rested with his fathers, and his seed he left behind. Rehavam, even the foolishness of the people, and one who had no understanding, who turns the people away through his counsel. There was also Yarovam, the son of Nevat, who caused Israel to sin and showed Ephraim the way of sin. And their sins were multiplied exceedingly, so they were driven out of the land, for they sought out all wickedness till the punishment came upon them. Wow. Yeah. Funny thing, back, in that age, people actually conversed with Yahweh, or he would send the word. His son, he would send him as he spoke through him. Amazing, the things they saw. And yet, what did they do? We don't get to see, but we have faith, which is called amunah. Amunah. Belief, faith. And we don't get to see. Maybe that's what makes us in this area, in this age of time that we're in, makes us the way we are. That we are able to believe even though we don't see. Understand, and yet we don't have proof. But yet, this right here is all the proof we need. I mean, when you really get down to it and you study you read and you study and you look through and you see how the world is going and how it's moving around and what it's doing. It was Navud, Navud, Navu. It was Navua. Sometimes I'm not good with the tenses. But anyway, everything was spoken of before it happened. Everything. Every single thing. Okay? So when you look around and you see what's going on and you read and you see what it says, and it was written ages ago, in this age that we're in, things are happening. Yeah. Well, anyway, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And always praise Yahweh all through Yahusha. Hallelujah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See you guys next time.